Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene was recently outed as buying stocks involving defense contractors and energy companies just days before the Russian invasion into Ukraine. In fact, on February 22nd, Greene bought stocks in defense industry giant Lockheed Martin and military supplier Caterpillar. She also bought between $1,000 and $15,000 worth of stock in Chevron and NextEra Energy, a utility and energy company. Okay, well, now, as a result of Putin's invasion into Ukraine, all of these companies happen to see their net worth, well, increase, actually skyrocket, making Marjorie Taylor Greene a little bit of money. So now, in fact, stocks in Lockheed Martin went up about 20% since Putin's invasion. And of course, you have all these defense contractors that are salivating at the idea of increased war, increased sales of weapons to Ukraine and possibly other NATO countries. And so understand that you got businesses that are looking to make some hefty profit. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, well, just happens to be cashing in. Now, that said, the irony here comes as it's just the day before she had bought these stocks, she ranted about war profiteering. In fact, here's what she wrote on Twitter. War and rumors of war is incredibly profitable and convenient. Well, apparently she would know. Hey, apparently that wasn't a criticism. That was like, hey, oh, wow, they're incredibly profitable and convenient. Why don't I just buy into it? Oh, yes. And just like that, she says, the media has a lie to use as a reason for our shattered economy and out of control inflation. Really? Now, the next day, again, after Russian troops launched the attacks against and across Ukraine, Greene said that the invasion was, quote, no surprise. But it was a surprise. It was a surprise to a lot of us, at least a surprise to myself, where I actually believed, like, no, Russia wouldn't be dumb enough to do this. They're going to get bogged down. And then that's exactly what happened. Now, that said, to Greene's own logic, if the invasion was no surprise, well, then what does that make her? Oh, right, a war profiteer. Well, I mean, profiteering, all for if she thought that a Russian invasion into Ukraine was no surprise, hey, all of us, we saw it coming, and then you had previously purchased stock in defense and energy, which happened to have the stocks go up as a result of this, you're a war profiteer. That's exactly what you've done. You've made yourself a very, very handsome profit in this conflict. Well done. Stocks for major European and US defense contractors are soaring as a result of this. And of course, as I mentioned, oil companies. Now, oil companies, by the way, are also taking advantage of the situation by, and let me, show you who specifically. The American Enterprise Institute and the American Petroleum Institute have now come out and said, boy, this would be a good time to drill more oil in the United States. Oh, maybe we should bring back the Keystone XL pipeline. For one, we already have a stable supply of oil. Russia only supplied 8% of oil to the United States, which can easily be made up by, if you wanted to increase the production or the OPEC countries could also increase production. Or, of course, we could also do things like, I don't know, invest in more renewable energy to try to get us away from that. Or, look, what Biden could do today is say, okay, oil companies, you're no longer allowed to sell oil to other countries. That's it. We're domestic sales only until prices are at a reasonable level. Now, of course, he refuses to do that because, again, Joe Biden, nothing will fundamentally change. And, we have to shoulder high gas prices for Ukraine. And also, again, something he would never do is nationalize the oil. And, of course, we're getting no energy infrastructure, no green energy infrastructure because that has to go through Congress. And of course, Congress will never do that. Well, the likes of Joe Manchin and other corporate Democrats that are funded heavily by big oil and gas interests in fossil fuels. So you see where we're going here. Nothing will happen. But you have that false narrative that, oh, if we were only to do the Keystone XL pipeline, drill, baby, drill, well, then, we would have we could fight over, these high gas prices. But again, it won't do anything for that because it's sold on the world market. It doesn't belong to us. It's not our oil. There is no such thing as energy independence for this country as long as we have a privatized energy system. As long as these corporations drill the oil and then take it and then sell it on the open market, it's not our oil. It doesn't belong to us. And so, look, in Keystone XL, all that is taking Canadian oil from the tar sands and sending it through the United States to Texas so it can be refined and sent out to the world market. That's it. No, it's not going to do anything for gas prices. So that whole complaint here is just ridiculous nonsense. Oil companies and other corporations, they are gouging people at the pump because they can. And this is all while defense contractors, their futures are very much set. And they're set to make a lot of money off more weapons sales. And God forbid, right? We get involved into in the war, and I hope that doesn't happen. But you got these defense contractors, at least for a short time, licking their chops. Can't wait to jump into it. It's disgusting, disgusting war profiteering. And of course, here you got Marjorie Taylor Greene making money. Hey, I'm making money. Good day for me.